Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Emerald Gaia transmission. Welcome. So today we are going to be working with our authenticity, awakening and activating our authentic voice. And it's so important for us to do this at this time so that we can truly express who we are, that our inner world matches how we express ourselves in the world. Because sometimes when there's a gap, that's when we feel false. That's when we feel inauthentic. That's when we feel that we are being derailed from our true purpose and path. And that can happen because there is a gap. There is a we are not our inner world is not matching our expression and our behavior and our way of being in the outer world. So let's see, here is Sheila. Okay, we're all going to be on mute as people come in the beginning here. We're just going to go on mute because we're recording, just so that you know, Sheila, we're recording. So welcome. Okay, hello. So again, we're here for the Emerald Gaia transmission. We're going to be activating our authentic voice. Okay, this is a Green Mother activation, which is in the Illumination Codes course that some of us are participating in at this time. And this course is open to everyone. You can sign up at any time. It is a rolling registration, so it's available to you if you want to go deeper into this work. But today we are going to be working in another layer. We're deepening into this experience of authentic voice. And I was just sharing how sometimes we are not feeling our authenticity when our inner world is not matching our experience of the outer world. Our behavior, our way of being is not expressing that inner union. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working with today. So let's take a deep breath and close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, that's when you become aware of the inner quantum field. Breathe into that field, that space inside of you. Breathe into the heart. And you can see behind me the jungle. We're going to be entering into the vibration of Gaia, that is the jungle. And I have spent a lot of time myself physically in the Amazon jungle because of my history. I trained as an art historian, and I did my graduate work in the Amazon jungle, working with the Shipibo people and the women shaman of this culture group in the Amazon. And I studied their art making processes, which came from visions that they would experience in ceremony, in sacred ceremony with plant medicine. So in this tradition, the plant medicine, this vibration is filled with divine knowing. That is how the plant teaches us, okay? So in order to, and one of the things that occurs in this process is the cultivation of inner knowing and inner authority, okay? So take a deep breath. Now, this experience of inner authority is sometimes overshadowed by conditioning, all kinds of conditioning and perceptions that we receive throughout our lives. They may be imprints that come with us, that incarnate with us, ancestral perceptions, ways of being, worldviews that we receive from our ancestry. We also receive in our education, in our social systems, all of our experiences start to create conditioning, okay? And these are filters of perception. So we have the conditioning becomes a filter that we look through when we observe the world, okay? And what we see has a lot to do with that filter, okay? So we're really entering into this space of creating, of being creator beings, creating our reality, okay? We become aware that what we focus on expands. What we perceive matches our beliefs that we have inside. And we actually choose and attract experiences in the outer world that match our inner belief system. So once we get this, once we understand this, once we practice this way of being, we come into our power. We come into our inner authority because we're no longer deceived by illusions in the outer world. We can see through them and we focus. And how does this happen? Through alignment with the inner divinity. Coming into alignment as beings of light incarnate. And through surrender to that inner divinity and that inner knowing. Okay. So take a deep breath. And let's begin our practice of connecting with Gaia. That is the first part of the alignment. So we're going to go through the alignment process now. And we do that by first focusing on the root chakra at the base of the spine. Breathing into that area. So this is an energy center at the base of the spine. And then you see a connection between that energy center, a line of energy that moves through all the layers of the earth, and then connects to the core, the crystalline core of Gaia, the diamond light core. This is the highest frequency of light on the planet, is emanating from the core of Gaia. So we are going to connect to that. We're just moving, very focused, very clear intention. I'm connecting my root chakra to the core of Gaia. You make that intention and you can visualize that line of energy. And you make sure that that connection is very solid, very firm. And then you allow the earth energy to rise up through all the layers of the earth into your body through the root chakra. And you can feel it. You can feel a tingling sensation in your feet and in your legs. You can feel the energy rising up and down the energy channels of your legs into the root chakra. And this earth energy is clearing and cleansing all the energy centers of the body. So it moves up through the second chakra to the solar plexus, into the heart, through the throat, into the third eye, the crown, and it fountains out the top of your head. And it's like a shower of light that cleanses and purifies your energy field, your electromagnetic field, the aura around the body. And then rising up again into the body from the core of the earth into the root chakra. And so you experience this cycle of energy moving through your being, moving through your physical vessel. And you start to experience a stillness. You just feel your hips really sink into the chair. Feel the soles of your feet against the floor. And then you feel that energy rising into your body. And this is how we come into presence. This is presence. We're in the present moment. When we're doing this work, you are in the present moment. You're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about what you have to do. You're in the present moment. And that's where we are when we do the quantum light practice. To receive these activations, to nourish the inner quantum field with light and awareness. Okay, so the Emerald Gaia, this emerald ray that's coming forth, it's rising up through the layers of the earth, the emerald vibration. Viriditas, the greening of the heart, the softening of the heart, the opening of the heart to love. So just allowing that emerald vibration to rise up into your body, into the heart. And you can see like a tunnel of light and all these beautiful rainbow colors lighting up. The elementals, the beings of light of the inner earth. So we're tapping into that vibration as well. It is an ascended vibration, the ascended Gaia. And there's some beings that are coming forth. Earth beings, magical beings of light, and they hold space for this emerald vibration. So we're just allowing them to come forth and express in light language transmission. And this vibration, it's just deeper and it's earthy and it's for us to ground. This light language is assisting us to ground. And so this inner earth is another dimension that we can tap into. So they're inviting us to let go of all the density that is happening in our world at this time. All the thought patterns, all the illusions. They're illusions. Illusions of being controlled, illusions of being deceived, illusions of overwhelm, frustration, all of these experiences. We're just going to allow we're going to release those dense vibrations into the earth, and the earth can receive them. It's neutral energy for the earth. So just allow yourself to let go of any worries, any anxiety, any confusion. Just take a deep breath into the heart and let go. And the sacred place of the jungle is coming forth, the Amazon jungle. So this is a very, very powerful experience of Gaia, to be in this vibration of the jungle. It's alive. It's fully alive. It's moist, it's wet, it's dark, it's deep, and it's nourishing, fertile. It's the Amazon is considered to be the lungs of Gaia. So just breathe in that vibration of the jungle. And when we enter into the jungle, we are moving into that vibration for deep communion with Gaia. So when you're physically in the jungle, we know that there's everything. Everything is in the jungle. There's jaguars, there are tarantulas, there's bats, there's snakes, there are all, there's these fish that eat flesh there, piranhas, I think they're called. And so there's all kinds of predators in this environment, okay? They exist for humans, predators for humans. So they're there, it's real. It's real, just like all of these thought patterns and control patterns and restrictions, and they are real for your physical vessel to navigate, okay? So, but moving into the teaching of what we focus on expands and becomes what we focus on, we create in our outer world. So when we move into the jungle vibration, we focus on union. We focus on our connection with Gaia. We focus on being nourished by this very potent earth vibration. We know that the predators are there, and we're not hiding from them. We're simply putting our attention on our purpose and our mission, that is union with Gaia. And we allow all the beings of light in all the different forms to be with love. And we send love. We emanate love. Through our union, through our surrender, we emanate love. So your greatest power, your greatest strength in any situation that occurs in the outer world is to focus on the inner presence, to focus on your alignment, and your connection with the ascended Gaia. So Gaia is existing and being in many different dimensions and forms in her ascension process. So some of these forms are not known to humanity. And she infinitely revitalizes herself no matter what's occurring in the human world. She's infinitely revitalizing herself. And transforming herself into different forms and dimensions that are autonomous from the human world. So we're receiving a transmission, a blessing of humility, of really knowing our place as humans in this world. We are not in charge of what is occurring on Gaia. So we surrender to the union, we surrender to the control, we surrender our attempt or tendency to try and control the outer world. We surrender that to this alignment to this inner presence. And just bringing forth that emerald vibration from the core of the earth, just allowing it to rise up and receive. We're just going to bring in a like a whirlpool of emerald through the body. So just see that emerald, vibrant emerald green, moving through your body like a tornado, just cleansing, purifying, clearing all the energy centers of the body. And then be aware again of your connection from the base of your spine to the crystal core. Authentic voice. So we're going to take a look at what is it that allows us to be authentic and to express authentically. How do we move into that authenticity or deepen into that authenticity? If we are already experiencing it in our daily lives, how do we deepen into that? So when I went into the jungle, I was coming from a very from an academic background, research and study in university. And there was a very profound shift that occurred in my ceremonies, in that I started to experience my knowledge as coming from inside of me, coming from that union, from coming into alignment. Knowledge started to be revealed to me that was innate inside of me. So that became the primary way for me to receive knowledge, the primary way for me to receive guidance, support. It was a very clear shift to move from getting information from news media, from books, from education systems and programs, to shifting to that inner knowing. So to be grounded in a foundation of inner knowing, and from that place to explore. And of course, continuing to explore, to read, to learn, to commune with others. But that experience became founded in the inner knowing and the inner authority that comes forth through surrender. Because the inner presence then becomes the authority in this surrender. And this surrender is unique for each of us. This union is unique. So each of us has a unique experience of God, of the divine mother. So that relationship, that union is sacred. It comes through experience, not by a religious system or an education system or a book or a technique. Because all of those things come from different cultures, come from different belief systems that may or may not match our vibration. They may not be a vibrational match for us. It may be a vibrational match for your mother or your father or your dearest friend, but it may not be a match for you. So that's what that inner knowing does, is that that you're able to advocate for your inner union, that inner union takes precedence over all other belief systems or education systems or ways of thinking. And you can trust it because you're in surrender to that inner divinity. You know that inner divinity, so you can trust no matter what's going on in the outer world, no matter what bandwagon people are jumping on. You are solid, you are clear, you are in your union, and your union is sacred. That relationship, the God of your understanding, is sacred and it's unique to you. So we're honoring that. We're honoring all of your experience, all of your revelations, all of your illumination that has occurred that others may not understand. It doesn't matter. It's between you and your divine. So part of authentic voice is the capacity to unplug from the collective consciousness and plug in to the inner union. And then again, from that place, and that the paradox is that in unplugging from the collective, you become more yourself, especially as empaths. You're no longer feeling and taking in, absorbing all the emotions and thought processes of others around you. Okay, so you become yourself. You become very clear who you are and what it is your purpose is and what it is your truth, okay, what your truth is. And then from that place, you are infinitely more appealing, infinitely more loving towards others because you are yourself. You've nourished yourself. You know yourself. And then from that place, you interact and engage with others from a place of sovereignty and inner knowing and authenticity. So this is how we become authentic. This is how we become original. This is how we become fearless in the outer world because we are so strong in who we are. We know who we are. And again, this experience comes through surrender to the inner divinity and cultivating a relationship 24/7 with that inner divinity so that you become so identified with the inner divinity that you become very aware that that is you, that is who you are. So just take that in, breathe, take deep breaths into the heart. Sana ine chikane chikane chikoraha ana asanaki soko shnoaha nai sonononoanaya. And this is when we express, when we're in that foundation of that inner authenticity, that inner authority, that surrender, we become inspired. That's when we're inspired to express. That's when we share, we emanate this vibration of sovereignty and divinity out into the world. And we can express in art and music and writing and caring for others and nourishing others and nourishing ourselves and communing with Gaia and connecting with our own divinity and seeing the divine in everything and everyone around us. So it's a mystical state. It's a dimension of being that we choose through this surrender. Soskoro sonoaha na isinikini chiniki sokosorwa. Deep breaths. Sorokoroaha nai chiki sonoko shokoaha anai. Sanai shinai shinakosoroaha na. Soskoro sonoa anai. Soskoro shinokoaha anai sanai. Shinoa ana isinikini chinakorai chiki sokoshokorai. And so the master plant is coming forth, ayahuasca. Sonoa anai ini chinikini chinakorai chiki sokoshua. Soskora na ichiki, the plant wisdom, sonoa of the Amazon jungle. And as we said, the Amazon is considered to be the lungs of Gaia. And so we're just going to receive, if you choose, a blessing, a cleansing, a clearing of our lungs, our physical lungs, where we breathe, and receive spiritus, spirit, and the breath, cleansing and purifying the respiratory system. So just receive, and you follow the sound of the light language. Sana iki chikuraha na sana keshina sunuaha surku shuruaha. Focus on the third eye, the pineal gland. It's in the center of the head. So we're receiving a transmission there for vision. Suruaha shinikini chinukuraini chike shikura chike sakasakiskur. Suruha, jaguars coming forth, the feline being of the jungle. So the feline being sees clearly in the dark. So we're receiving that transmission, that divine quality. We can see in the dark. Clarity. Just clearing any kind of confusion. This jaguar energy. Deep breath. So we're receiving, calling forth the cosmic light, the feline goddesses, the Syrian goddess Stargate are coming forth. This fierceness. It's a fierceness in knowing who you are, knowing what your mission is, following your purpose. Following, relentlessly following the guidance within, answering every call. Pure, it's this pure energy of devotion and surrender. And it's fierce, it's strong. This submission to the light, this surrender to the divinity, it takes strength and it takes courage because you're letting go of the illusion of control. You can be with uncertainty. So that takes great strength and trust and courage. And all these beautiful feline goddesses are coming forth from the Egyptian pantheon. So we have Sekhmet, we have Bastet, Chinoahanai, Chinakini, Chino, Sono, Suruahanaya, Hanaya, Naya, Hana, Sonoa, Sanai, Shinakini, Chinakai, Chakara, Chadavahana, Shukuha, Aha, Nishine, hey, 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 Shanai, Shini, Shini, Shiku, Shua, Sanaya, Sanaina, Shakuha, Sana. Hey, shene, 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 shinu, shunu, shunua. Sana, focus on the throat. Shuhana, shuhana, haki de shake, shake. Sukuhana, sukuhana, haishana, korahana, sanakin, shin koraya. Chanai, chanai, chunokoro, sunua, sanai, inichunake, shunokai, sainai. Breathing in this divine mother that is the darkness. You know, the darkness includes every color, every facet of light. It includes everything. So just allowing that divine mother womb vibration to come in and integrate inside of you. Seeing in the dark, clairvoyance, vision. And so then we're bringing that the divine knowing, the crown chakra receives the divine knowing. And then we're aligning the crown chakra with the pineal gland, the third eye, in the center of the brain, bringing into balance the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. And then that alignment moves into the throat, then the heart, the womb area, the second, if you're in a male body, the second chakra, the creative center, the reproductive organs, coming into alignment with the root chakra. And then being aware of that connection to the crystalline core of Gaia. So this is your alignment. And so we practice this daily, just like taking a shower or having breakfast. We practice alignment so that it becomes habitual. It is a habitual state. So that in a moment where something unexpected happens, that is the default position, the default state, alignment with the inner divinity. No matter what is occurring in the outer world, laser focus on the inner divinity. Shukuaha nai chiki chidki chidki chidkuruaha nai chiki sukushwa. Sunua anai chinaki chinakorahi chiki sunukurwa. Sukura hot noa hanai. Chukura hanai sunakusrua nai. Hanai sinaki sunaku. Sukuaha nai shinaki. And it's amazing because we start to experience that whatever's happening, we go to that default position of alignment. And in this alignment, We can pause. There's space to choose how we respond. So we're no longer just driven by a reaction that is really sometimes these reactions, very intense emotional reactions of fear or shutting down, aggressiveness, these types of things that occur in stressful situations. We can move away from that and we go inside and we can pause. There's space. And then we can choose. How do we respond? We can see because we have our clairvoyance. We can see in the dark. We can see what it is we need to do. Do we need to take action? Do we need to allow, pause? Or do we need to take action? Because sometimes we need to take action. We have to move quickly. We have to remove ourselves from a situation. So we will receive that guidance very, very clearly in that default position of alignment. We will know what to do or what not to do. So this is a practice, a daily practice, coming into alignment with the inner divinity. Let's take a deep breath. And we're going to bring up the diamond light. Again, this vibration is emanating from the core of Gaia. It's a very high frequency of light. And we're going to allow that energy to rise up and enter into the root chakra and integrate that light, integrating with infusing every cell of our root chakra. Awareness, inner knowing, union. So just see that diamond light infusing every cell of the lower body with light. And if any thoughts, memories, impressions come forth, allow those impressions, those tendencies. These are called samskaras. They're tendencies. It's like imprints that we carry within us, which may be coming from some kind of trauma, some kind of separation that we experienced in our lives, in this life, in other previous incarnations. So we're just allowing that energy to be absorbed and included in this diamond light. So again, it's there, just like in the jungle, the tarantula is there, but we no longer engage with it. We're allowing it to integrate, sending it love, sending it light. We know that all of these experiences, preferred as well as the ones that were very challenging and caused pain in our lives, that these are the things that deepen our awareness of union. So we offer thanks, gratitude for these experiences of separation, because it was through the experience of separation that we recognize the light, and that we surrender to the light. So the dark and the light work together. The purpose of the light is to illuminate the darkness, and the purpose of the darkness is to recognize, have resonance with the light. So they work together. We're not trying to get rid of the darkness. We're including it into the oneness, into the wholeness, into all that is. The Divine Mother is everything. Shukuro no ahana chiniki chinokurwa. So calling forth the Sophia Divine Mother, the wisdom codes of Sophia. And this is a diamond light coming in a column of light through the crown of the head from the cosmos. Shukuro no ahana sinai sono no ana ini chiki sokoro hainai chana hainai sana sono asanai shano sono hana sinaki shnakorai soskoro sono ko hanai. So bringing in that diamond white light, the Sophia Christ consciousness. Shukorai chiniki sanai shiniki sanakoroa. The awareness, the consciousness of being a divine being of light incarnate, heaven on earth. Shukurai chukwai sanakurai. Receiving that light. Hai sane shane sane sunoa. Hai shane siniki shanakurwa. Hai siniki sanakohoa. Into the throat. Again, another blessing into the throat, the authentic voice. Shanai. And we're all going to chant the primordial sound, Om, as we receive this light into the throat. So take a deep breath. We're going to chant Om 3 times. 3 times. And now we're receiving an activation from the Divine Mother in the heart. An activation to continue deepening your relationship with the divine, of your understanding and knowledge and experience. And an activation of your unique expression in the world. Shinua, what it is that you came here to express. Gifts and talents that are now accessible, that may not have been accessible before, are now coming online for you to tap into. So receive this gift that is for you, just for you. Only you can experience it. You know, just like you have, no one has the same fingerprints as you. It's the same thing. No one has this gift. There may be people that have something similar. There may be people that you resonate with who have a similar path. But this gift that is fully activating, fully coming online, is unique to you. And it is between you and the inner divinity within you. So receive. This expression of your authenticity and alignment. And this gift is being anchored inside of you. In divine resonance with all that you are in this now moment. And you may see a symbol. A symbol may come forth that has codes. You may see numbers. You may see colors. So allow yourself to receive. Well done. Beautiful. And Mother Mary is coming forth. May it be done unto me according to thy will. That is the consciousness of surrender that we're receiving from Mother Mary. Shanai, 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 Sarohana. Hai Shanai, 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 Hasanwana. Hasanai, Shanai, Shanai, Kanasene. And she's just showering us with so much love. So just receive these beautiful, they're rose petals. Receiving that symbol of the rose into the heart. Okay. So as this transmission comes to completion, we're going to receive a final blessing from the Emerald Gaia. And you can see that emerald light rising up from the core of the earth through all the layers into your body. And this emerald light is sealing out all that we've completed and sealing in these powerful activations of our divine gift, of our inner knowing and our authentic voice. So you allow that emerald vibration to be absorbed by every cell of your body. And then you receive a golden light, a column of golden light from the cosmos, entering in through the crown of the head. Infusing the heart with these vibrations. Offering gratitude to the earth that nurtures us and supports us, to the Divine Mother and all her forms that came forth today. Many different forms, many different expressions of Gaia came forth. Many expressions of the Divine Mother came forth to nourish us and love us. So we're offering our gratitude and blessings to these powerful forces, the creative life force of the universe, the primordial sound, Om. So we're just allowing ourselves to integrate, continuing to receive, continuing to bask in these beautiful frequencies of light. Heaven on earth. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Anna of the Quantum Light Practice. align with the divinity that is you.